What if I told you we could take 8 years of really hard-learned lessons in trading and boil them all down into one simple business plan? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's dive in and see how you can build an income-generating machine starting today. All right, so this is really the core idea we're starting with. Think about this. Trading is a business where you can do a complete dry run without risking any capital at all. I mean, what other business lets you prove your entire model works before you put a single dollar on the line? It's pretty incredible. So that really begs the million-dollar question, doesn't it? If you can practice for free, why do so many people still lose money? I mean, it seems like everyone should be successful. Well, the answer comes down to a huge, fundamental misunderstanding of what trading actually is. You see, the secret to trading isn't about predicting the future or having some kind of crystal ball. Nope. It's just a game of statistics. And to make this super clear, we're going to break it all down with a simple coin.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Heads, you win $2. Tails, you lose $1. Would you play this game? Now, really think about it, because this is probably the most important question in this whole thing. The odds are 50-50, right? But your reward is double your risk. Logically, you should be playing this game all day, every day.
But here's the trap. This is where everyone gets it wrong. After just 10 flips, look at this. You could easily be down $1. And this is exactly what happens to new traders. They have a winning system, a great statistical edge, but they hit a few losses in a row and just give up. They never stick around long enough for the math to actually work in their favor. But now, look what happens when we zoom out. Over 1,000 flips, the real 50-50 probability kicks in. And that edge you have, it turns into consistent profit. It becomes a mathematical certainty. That small sample size was totally misleading, but the big one, that's where the truth comes out. So what this all boils down to is this one crucial idea. Your entire job as a trader is just two things. First, find a system that has a provable statistical edge. And second, execute it over and over and over again until that edge has time to work. That's it. That's the whole game. Okay, so knowing you have an edge, that's the easy part. But actually having the discipline to stick with it through the ups and downs, that's a whole other ballgame. And it requires a huge shift in how you think. And this quote right here just nails that. Consider each trade you take as just one out of the next 1,000 trades. I mean, if you really, truly internalize that idea, then what happens on this one single trade, it barely matters, right? It's just a tiny little data point in a much bigger picture. You know, a lot of people think pro traders have nerves of steel. That's not it at all. They just have total trust in their data. See, if you're feeling emotional, it's just a warning sign. It means you're focused on the money instead of the process. And risk? Risk isn't scary. It's just the price you pay for the opportunity to let your winning system do its thing. All right, now this is going to sound totally backwards, I know, but it is the absolute key to making it all work. To make money, you have to forget about the money. To really operate with that professional mindset, you have to find a way to get rid of the one thing that triggers all the emotion in the first place, the dollar signs. And here's how you do it. There's this awesome concept called a unit of R, or just R. Remember our coin flip game? You were risking $1. That $1, that's your R. So from now on, you stop thinking in dollars. You either lose 1 R or you win some multiple of R, like 2R. It completely standardizes your results. Just look at the difference this makes. On the left, the dollar column is all over the place. It looks chaotic, stressful, emotional. But that R column on the right, it's clean, it's stable. It's all about the process. It tells you if you're doing your job right, no matter how the cash is swinging around. And this brings us to a huge takeaway. A good trade is not defined by whether you made money or lost money. A good trade is defined by how well you followed your process. You can actually lose money on a good trade if you followed your rules, and you can get lucky and make money on a bad trade where you broke them. But over the long haul, only the good trades, the ones where you follow the process, are going to make you profitable. And this is where something called the hot hand fallacy comes in and just wrecks people. You win a few trades in a row, you start feeling like a genius, you get overconfident, and then what do? You increase your risk, you break your own rules. You basically change the rules of the coin flip game while you're playing, and you completely destroy the statistical edge you worked so hard to find. Okay, so we've got the psychology locked down. Now it's time to actually build the business. And like any real business, it's all about one thing:
You can't improve what you don't measure. It's all about the data. So how do you do that complete dry run we talked about at the beginning? You use this four-phase process. First, you backtest your idea on old charts. Then, you use a bar replay to simulate it in real time. After that, you move to paper trading with fake money in the live market. And only when it passes all of those tests, only then do you even think about risking a single penny of your real money. And what are you tracking through all this testing? It's really simple. Just two key numbers. First, your win rate. What percentage of your trades are winners? And second, what's your average win versus your average loss, measured in R? Those two little numbers, they will tell you, without a doubt, if you have a profitable business on your hands or not. All right, we're at the final piece of the puzzle. Let's put everything together with what is maybe the most misunderstood part of trading, setting goals. And let me tell you, the way amateurs do it is the complete opposite of how professionals do it. See, the amateur sets a goal like, I need to make $300 today. They're chasing a specific dollar amount, an outcome they have zero control over. And that just creates stress and leads to terrible decisions. The professional, their goal is totally different. It's, I need to execute my process perfectly today. They focus only on the one thing they can control. So how does a professional actually hit their financial targets? Well, they reverse engineer it. It all starts with the end goal. So, step one, set your monthly goal. Let's just say, for example, you want to make $6,000 a month. Okay, step two, you go back to all that data you collected during testing, you look at your numbers, and you know that your proven system generates, on average, about 15 R per month. This isn't a guess, it's a fact based on your own performance. And now, step three, it's just simple math. You take your $6,000 goal and divide it by your 15 R performance. What does that give you? $400. That number is the only thing you need to worry about. It tells you exactly how much money your 1R risk unit should be on every single trade. You just focus on executing your process, and the $6,000 goal, it just happens. So when you really get down to it, it all comes down to this one question. Are you building a real business based on data and process, or are you just showing up to the casino every day, flipping coins and hoping for the best? Because approaching this with a plan, an edge, and the right mindset, it's not just a different strategy, it's a completely different game.